Welcome to another episode of Downeast Under Creations. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. Does help the channel. Well, this arrived this morning, and what all these boxes consist of are two portable buildings, storage shelters, whatever you want to call them, portable garages, and one is an 8x14 and the other one is 12x20, and the reason I got them is because one is going to go over Ura, the sailboat I'm building, and it'll extend my season. Instead of that wimpy top that was covering it, it was only good for the summer and that was it. This can go up and pretty much stay up over the winter, supposedly, or at least a good part of it, so I will have a longer season. And the other one, the smaller one, if you saw an earlier video of mine, I'm planning on refurbishing the John Deere L100 and lawn tractor. So not only will that be refurbished, but also an old snowblower I have and some other equipment. And the whole idea is to be able to build a bench to set it up on and a place to work on it where I have room and I'm out of the weather. Now the battery died while I was undoing straps and cutting some of the tape on here, but you didn't really miss anything. Just open up this box. And yeah, pretty much what I expected, just a bunch of tubes. There's quite a few of them. But they are marked with some numbers, so yeah, that might help. And sure enough, there's the cover. Well, I guess I got to do the instructions on immediately apparent. And by the way, both of these shelters, I guess the brand name is Advance. I bought them through Amazon, but I want to tell you right now that I am not affiliated with them. They don't sponsor me. I just bought these outright, and I'm not an Amazon partner. So if you bought one of these, I don't make a dime on it. I'm just sharing my experience, what I find here. It doesn't matter to me whether you want to buy one or not. There's a whole variety of different brands that Amazon sells, and I guess Amazon partners or sellers that all sell on there. So I'm just going to see what I have here. There you go. The stuff I'm looking for is always on the bottom. Get this out of the way. And there's the user manual. Not too much to it, but at least I have the manual. I have the stakes, I have all the fittings for the tubes, the bungees and the hardware, so I guess all is good. It doesn't look like the package had been compromised, so I don't think I lost anything in transit, so I'm pretty sure it's all there. Time will tell when I go to assemble it. So I think I mentioned before, everything is labeled with letters and numbers, in addition to those locating pins. And I just put together the ridge pole, and that was pretty easy. I just two number 1 poles, and they plug into the B fitting, and then there are the N fittings, and those have a different letter designation. Those are the, you can see, A fittings. So, and what's nice about these locating pins is they're positioned so you're not twisted one way or the other. They're located so that everything is in the right orientation. Pretty cool. Well, when I set up the smaller shelter to work on the deer, I have to put it somewhere, and I'm thinking along the side of the shop, this general area that you can see from the camera view here. And but you see the tire tracks, because under the lean-to, that's where I keep the tractor. I've got to be able to get in and out. I've got to get around the corner if I want to get to Ura, working on the sailboat. On occasion I got to bring machinery in with the tractor. So that would leave this corner, which means I have to move some stuff. And I might have to grab some gravel and smooth things out, it doesn't have to be perfectly level, but you know, it's got to be reasonable, because I've got to walk around and stand on things, and I've got to have a bench in there to hold the John Deere. So I think there's a little bit of work to be done here. And maybe this isn't the best place. Maybe I should scout around for a better one. But well, I thought of another option, and where the deer is sitting there, just right beside the deer, in the foreground, this little area right in here, I think where it's only an 8-foot wide shelter, I'd have room to get the tractor in and out. But the only problem here is that I don't know if it might be too much of a slope, but it's still close enough to the shop where I can run an extension cord so I can have power, put up a light inside. Thought of a couple of more options. I thought about putting it right here, putting the shelter here right in front of the shop. And so the width would be 8 feet, comes off. Of course, rain coming off the roof would be dousing this thing. That might not be a good idea. And also it means the vehicles have to be parked further down. But the other option here I was just thinking about was where these trash barrels are. If I put that little shelter right up against the shop, and it comes out 8 feet, there's plenty of room outboard of that to get the tractor in and out and other machinery and equipment. I don't have to move much, and the ground is relatively smooth and flat, and it's all hard pack with good drainage, and there's nothing that's going to come off the roof. So that might be the best option. Of course, all this has to, I got to run it past the Admiral, which is my wife. I'm the captain around here, but my wife's the Admiral. So I'll have to get the final okay from her. Well, I just checked with the boss, had a little discussion, and she approved my location. So the location is going to be, well, right here against the end of the shop, and I think that's going to be the best place. I don't have to do any groundwork there, don't have to bring in any gravel, and you know, not a lot of tractor work or anything, because I already have a fairly flat surface to work on. And so all I have to do is just move some trash barrels, relocate them, and I can go ahead and start setting up the building. And that's the easiest for me, and since my wife approves, good to go. Well, now at the point where I'm definitely going to need some help. I did this according to the instructions, and they said once you got the basic frame assembled, with the side rails on one side off, not installed, go ahead and put the cover on, put it on with the bungees, and once that's on, now I can lift one side, that low side, and put the vertical rails in. But there's 3 rails that have to go in, and I'm going to have to get some help for that. I'll get my wife and daughter out here, but they don't like to appear on camera, so I'll be back once that's up. Well, I now have the basic unit erected. The the roof covering is on the top. I think it could fit a little bit better. I can't say that it's wonderful, but I was able to get it on. I did have help lifting these those vertical poles, getting the roof up in the air. So, but other than that, I've been doing everything myself. The only thing left now, I have these are a smaller diameter, these bars, and they go along, there are pockets on the inside of the covering. These slide into the pockets sort of like battens, and then there's some hardware that go on the ends of these to clamp it to the frame. These hardware is right here, and so once that's in place, that'll keep the sides from bulging out with the wind. It holds it in tight, and so I guess that should help it a little bit. And then I have to adjust the doors. They're put on with Velcro, and I haven't adjusted them yet because I want to wait until I get the side bars in and secured, and then once I do that, I'll get these fit. And once everything's in position, then the final step would be to drive the stakes into the ground. If I put the stakes in now and I have to move it, that doesn't work. So I'll wait till the first thing is putting in the side bars along the bottom. And as I said, then I'll go ahead and adjust these doors, these Velcro strips, and then the final stage are the stakes. Well, I've completed getting the lower rails in and the brackets that came with them, the hardware to secure them to the vertical poles. And it was a little bit tricky because the fits on this thing aren't what they could be, but that seems to be the way with a lot of this stuff. But I managed to get it together and get it all fitted. The only thing I haven't done, I haven't adjusted the Velcros, the flaps, to make sure the door, the zippers, can open and close without a big strain on them for the doors. And I have to put the stakes in to secure this, to secure the shelter to the ground. I still have to do that, but it's just about 6 p.m. right now. Dinner's ready, sun's going down, it's getting colder. So, and they're not calling for any big wind tonight, so I might just let it sit there, take the risk, and finish that in the morning. Well, it's presently Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, and the new shelter that I put up for refurbishing the John Deere, it's been up now for a couple of days or so. It's gone through a couple of rainstorms, still standing. That's a good thing. Well, let's take a look. So here it is, and the advantage again is that it opens on both ends. So that's kind of cool. All I have to do now is I have to build the workbench that the deer is going to sit on, so I can get in here, stay out of the rain, the weather, and start pulling it apart, so I can do a complete refurbishment and make a few upgrades. And of course, the deer is sitting over here, and it won't be long. We'll get it in there and make it like new again. So, a few impressions. This is not exactly the quality I expected. I thought it would be much better. It was a little bit pricier than the other ones. It does have some features the others don't, but they claim it has heavy duty zippers. Well, then I don't consider those heavy duty at all. I think they're pretty cheap. The stakes aren't all that wonderful. The tubing fits fine. That goes together a little loose, but everything fits the way it's supposed to. But the cover that goes over it does not fit very well. You really have to play with it, You have to monkey around with it to get it into position, and even then things don't exactly line up. But then again, it was made in China, so there's that. But you know, it is what it is. I did manage to get it up. It does help if you have some people, you have an extra pair of hands, at least one other person. Two is even better sometimes. But other than that, you know, at least it's going to provide me the shelter I need to work on the John Deere. So we can get that lawn tractor up and happening. We can also work on the old snow blower. I have a rototiller I have to refurbish, a few other things, and this will give me the room to do it. And I think I can hang a light in here. I can well, take an LED shop light and I can suspend it from underneath here, and I won't need it so much during the day, but if I can make things a little bit brighter, yeah, that'll just make it better. Of course, I have a larger version of this that I bought to put over my sailboat that I'm building, sailing vessel Ura out in the back, and I'll be erecting that pretty soon, and that will take place, you know, the video for that will take place on my Shoestring Shipyard Sailing YouTube channel. And of course this one's here on Downeast Under Creations. So I hope you liked the video, and if you have any questions about this particular brand or model, my experience with it, feel free to ask those in the comment section below the video, and I'll do my best to get back to you and answer those questions. Thanks for watching. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and if you do subscribe, remember to ring that little bell so that you can be notified of any new videos that are published. And once again, thank you very much for watching my channel. Comment if you will. Thank you.